Yeah, I mean, definitely some of it is how much fun I'm having. It's all about the body, how the body feels. The team gave up significant pieces for it just to be a one-year deal. I'm aware of that. I think there was an awareness of that. Now, again, anything can happen with my body or with the success we have this year. But I'm having a blast, so I don't really see this as a one-year and done thing.
Did you see yourself, though, even a couple of years ago, playing into your 40s? Like, was that a goal of yours?
Yeah, definitely. I think being the 40-year-old starter was a goal, just because that's kind of that's a big number, and to put yourself in that position means you got to really take care of yourself in the off season. And so I've adjusted some things with that goal in mind. Obviously, Tom kind of set the standard, playing to 45, I think, which is crazy, but less crazy when you're starting to get closer to that, because you still love the game and you still want to be there doing it. And if you take care of yourself the right way, you put yourself in a position to at least entertain that thought.
You always seem to use your athleticism to supplement your pocket skills. How much of that asset do you think you still have, and how much does that help an offensive line that might have some question marks about it?
When I was younger, I was definitely more dangerous outside the pocket running. I had multiple years where I was in the mid to high 300s in rushing yards. I think I tipped over 100 a couple years ago and felt really good about that. In the last game against Detroit, I remember sliding on a play and going to Bakhtiari, who always rips me about my athleticism, and saying that was 100. So the standards have changed a little bit, but I dedicated myself to a little bit more flexibility this offseason. My diet, I think, has helped with some of the inflammation regression in my body. So I'm still going to have that element to the game. I'm definitely nowhere near some of these incredible runners outside the pocket as far as being dangerous, but I have some assets. I have a pretty good pump fake. I can throw it both ways on the run, and every now and then I can get what's there. So I still enjoy extending the plays. I just enjoy being in the pocket and not taking a lot of shots a little bit more.
We've had so many guys come up here and talk about how you go over to them and say, this is what I'm seeing. If you don't disguise this is what the quarterback's going to do to you. Have you always been like that? And where do you find time to go to all these guys? Because they're all coming here saying that.
There's a lot of time during the day. I think part of the role as the, as the guy in charge on offense is it's not just offense, it's the leadership of the football team. So there's opportunities throughout the day to find time to drop in with somebody, whether that's a breakfast, a lunch, in between a meeting. So I like to mix up where I sit, just so I get to know a lot of the guys. That, practice, it was twofold. One, I want to tell TA he made a nice play on the interception. Two, I also want to remind him that was a free play because they jumped outside. At the same time, sometimes I enjoy walking around and getting a different view of things. So I don't always just like standing behind the play. I like to move to the left sometime. In that, you're hearing also whatever position group is over there. You're kind of hearing some of the coaching points. You can check some guys on if they actually know what the play is, so they can mental reps, go to the other side, hear the linemen, what they're talking about, hear the D-line. You can pick up some tips. You can offer some tips. When you're from the side and from behind, it's a lot different view as well. So, but look, I love our guys, and I think any chance they can see and feel me, encouraging them is a good thing. I really enjoy the conversation with the DBs. There's been a lot of them from Sauce and DJ and MC, and J-Dub, TA, and Smash, and all those guys. I think it's important that we communicate, because if we're just trying to beat each other's ass in practice, that's great for competition-wise, but we're not actually getting better. They need to be talking to me about if my receivers are tipping things off, or if something I'm doing is tipping them off, and I need to tell them, like, hey, this is hard for me, this isn't. So there's things to work on for both sides, and I think that sharing of information is really important to us kind of getting together on the same page and taking that next step. I love it. That's one of my favorite parts of this whole thing is why should we ever waste a rep? And it can be it can be an offensive line walkthrough at 6 o'clock of these night walkthroughs while the special teams is going. If we're just going through the motions when we're on the field, we're missing opportunity. Every time we're on the field, we should be alert for anything. and I like to test them on some stuff that maybe they haven't thought about before, or maybe it was installed in day one that we were here, or maybe it's something we talked about in the spring, just so they know kind of how I operate. Is that everything is up, number one, but also I want the best players are the smartest players. So anytime we're on that field, whether it's a half-line walkthrough or a full 11-on-11 play, they should be playing with their brains turned on. He's quiet, so I got a strategy for him and I's friendship, but he's a quiet guy. Quincy's a little bit more vocal, so CJ and I will talk from time to time in the locker room, but I really got to initiate that conversation right now. But he's a great dude. Love his leadership style, leading by example. I've been around a lot of great ones over the years. Julius Peppers was one of the best, where JP didn't say a whole lot, but when he did, everybody listened. And I think that's what the effect that CJ has. He's a very quiet leader, leads by example. When he starts talking, everybody's listening. Well, I think everything's new. I think it's we've all turned the page. It's a new chapter. It can be exciting. I think it's going to be exciting for Green Bay moving on. It's definitely been really fun for me out here. I got a new head coach to get to know and appreciate his style. I'm back with, Hack and I are so close. I'm in the room with Todd Downing and Rob, and we're having a blast. New quarterbacks to work with, new personalities in the locker room. They stuck me in a really great corner where I got a bunch of funny D linemen on one side and Lazard over on my left side. So that stuff's all new. Getting to know the people around the facility has been a lot of fun. Change can be difficult for sure, especially when it's that drastic, 18 years in one spot. But if you can lean into it and embrace it, there's some really beautiful things on the other side, and I've been experiencing them so far. The people have been great, both in Jersey and in the city, and I'm just having a hell of a time.
Thanks, everybody.